Everybody, trying to get this thing in here. PFF Tuesday. Tell your friends. Finishing some things here. Oh, wow. Look at that. Awful performance. Yeah. Welcome one. Let's do this. Put what team you represent into the comments. Let's participate today. It's PFF Tuesday with your host. Bring it, Sebastian. Oh, God. This is going to be a good day. This could be good. Good morning, Fred Peterson. Good morning, Sebastian. Good morning, Mike the Bear fan and Scotty Reno. Jordan. Gene. Scott Smith. Oh. PFF Tuesday. Here we are on PFF Tuesday. I hope you like my graphic today, man. I'm trying to get it all good with my fades. Who won't show? I don't know who ain't gonna show. That's what Sarah says right here. I have a feeling since the Packers lost that we're not gonna get a big Packers. I bet you we see A-Dub on here. I bet you A-Dub owns it. I bet you A-Dub is going to be in the comments today. But welcome one, welcome all. This is Football Talk with Russell Wayne. That would be me right here. And here's that fancy graphic that I was telling you about right there. And today is PFF Tuesday. We are broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions News Podcast page. We are broadcasting live into Mike the Bear fan right there. And we are broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions Villain Squad, which we just crossed over 1,000 villains, and we are very, very excited about that. But it is PFF Tuesdays, and let me see what we got in the comments here while I'm waiting for my compadre right here. And it's good to see you guys all in here. Sebastian came right in here. Good morning. John Dorn better show his punchable face right here and eat that crow. He won't. He ain't going to be in here. He might come in and say same old Lions or whatever, but he ain't going to take accountability for his loss. I mean, obviously they were going to win out, right? Yeah. They were going to win out, and they're going to take the North and win out. And we all better watch out. And it's the same old Lions. It's the same old Bears. And there we go, right here. This is what I was looking for. Right here. This is we're gonna win out. And then there's Tommy DeVito. Here comes Tommy DeVito. Hey, I knew this guy from back in the day. Tommy DeVito. You know this guy? Do you know this guy? Well, he came in, he took care of business. We sent him in there to New York and into the Meadowlands, and they found this guy named Jordan Love, and Jordan Love turned into his normal self on this particular Monday Night Football game. So Tommy DeVito, we owe you a favor, okay? Tommy DeVito came in and made things a little bit different here in the NFC North, and it definitely made that game for next week. I believe that you guys are playing. It's a division game next week, and here we go. Let's look at this. The overview. You had one Jordan Love going 25 for 39 for 218 yards with one touchdown and an interception. Now, I thought that they were going to win out. Where was this Jordan Love when they were playing the Detroit Lions? He decided to revert to his old ways, turning over the football, just throwing into coverage. He does have a nice arm. But I stuck up for you. I thought that you were going to win the game, but here's the thing. It's like they also gave me the points. So I ended up winning that anyway because I took New York plus the 6 points. And I thought that you would even that you wouldn't cover that, but I thought that you would win. I did think that you would win, but you didn't win. But the Green Bay Packers fall to the New York Giants 24-22. And boy, was that a stinker all the way around. That was a stinker all the way around. Tommy DeVito was 17 of 21 for a buck 58 and a TD. But that's not where he hurt you. He hurt you in that run game right there. Tommy DeVito he was the second leading rusher on the team, 10 rushes for 71 yards and almost had a touchdown. I mean, Barkley did get that touchdown, and Barkley almost lost that game for him. And, fumbling that ball right there, and that was just fluky. It was just a weird game, if you ask me. It was just a weird game. But let's say, what do we got? Oh, Mike wants me to send him the link. All right. He must be on the telephone. He must be out taking care of business with my constituents out there. But it's PFF Tuesdays. I want to get Mike in here. Let me send him the link right now. And then I'm going to hit some of these comments for a minute. Oh, yeah. And this is the time where we want to go real slow with the internet heaven. And this is brought to you by Xfinity. No, it isn't. Xfinity should give me money. They should give me money. After all the times they screwed us over on this show. Xfinity. All right, let me see if we got any good trash talking in here. Last night, kissed my boo-boo, made it better. Thank you, Green Bay. Thank you, Scotty Reno, for a good comment right there. I love that. Yup. Fred Peterson says, yeah, I hate eating crow, but I'll take my licks over being some pansy ass that runs and hides. Yeah, that's what they do. That those Packer fans are, it's funny. You can't even believe it when it's happening. And you're like, where are you going? It ain't that bad. I mean, the Lions are used to losing. So if they get on a little losing streak right here, I mean, we're still feeling good at 9-3. You know, and I'm sure that if you have a couple, successful seasons, then I'm sure that the bar is going to be lifted. But, Lions fans in general should have like this, like, okay, we're not used to being here. Oh, they're going to lose. They might. We're used to seeing them lose. We're not used to seeing this. So if the bottom does fall out for the Lions, we've been there before. We've seen Lucy pull the ball out from underneath of us. We don't want to see it happen. I don't think it's going to happen. But, there's always that thought. It's that thought in the back of your head. It's creeping in there. It's creeping in there for some of these people, especially for these Lions fans, where it's like PTSOL, post-traumatic, same old Lions. It's creeping in. It's creeping in. It was creeping in when they were winning. But, they lose a game. Oh, my God, the sky is falling. Same old Lions. We're going into it as I welcome my compadre to the program. Welcome to the program, Mike. Let me get the PTSOL thing out of here so we can see you. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Sorry I'm late, Russ. I'm at the mall trying to buy a Tommy DeVito jersey.
Oh, are you? Yeah. Money man Tommy DeVito comes through. I just threw down those stats. Tommy DeVito, 17 of 21, a $158 and a TD and a tutty, 71 yards on the ground. But almost had a touchdown run.
And to piggyback on what you were saying, I really feel like that Giants victory over that team last night eases the PTSOL. It makes you breathe a sigh of relief when all these Packer fans are saying, we're going to win out. And then I look at the remaining schedule and go, damn, they might win out. Well, they didn't win out. And they're not going to win the division. That's a lock.
It's a lock that they're not going to win the division. Well, they could always bust out the old Jay Cutler book of excuses. I don't know what it's going to be. But here's the thing is they don't have to make excuses because they never show up to eat their crow. They're just going to go into hiding like the little trolls that they are down into the little Green Bay Packer I hide my troll zone. And they're just going to wait for the next win. Go count your trophies for a few weeks until you get a victory. Yeah, but we have these Lombardis. After all, they didn't name the trophy after the Green Bay Packers. I stuck up for you. I told everybody that you were good. And it comes, this is something that you used to say to us Packer fans. But was that your Super Bowl? Did you whoop up on the Lions? Did you win your Super Bowl this year? Because that piece of crap that went onto that field yesterday in New York, that team can't beat us. That team can't beat the Lions. That team was a dumpster fire yesterday, and they couldn't get out of their own way. Jordan Love didn't look like that zinging Jordan Love that looking like the reincarnation of Aaron Rodgers all over again. No, he was overthrowing guys. He looked unpoised at times. It looked like he was really out of himself. So, did you win your Super Bowl? Packer fan? There isn't any Packer fans out there. Let's move on, man. Let's go into the PFF part of this, Mike.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
But I still wonder. I mean, did that ease your PTSOL a little bit? Having the Giants beat them?
I went over this yesterday. I am not in any kind of panic mode right now. I told everybody how I felt about my panic. I'm not panicked yet. I'm not even going to get panicked if they.
Do you think the Lions players breathed a sigh of relief when the Packers lost, knowing that they're not going to be able to catch them now?
I mean, why wouldn't you? You watched the division team lose.
Because you didn't. I know I did. You say you didn't, so I'm wondering, do you think there was
there was no sigh of there's a sigh of relief for me, for sure. I get to see, but it didn't come from this place where I had PTSOL. I think my PTSOL was gone because we're far ahead. Like, this is what I was talking about last week. These teams are going to have to play other teams, and they're going to have to play each other. Isn't Minnesota playing Green Bay this week? Like, hello? Like, y'all can't win all your games. You got to play each other. You got to play the Bears again. Packers?
No. The Vikings don't play the Packers this week. It's the following week.
Oh, is it? Okay, so you got what I'm saying is there's 4 games left, and you guys got to beat up on each other.
They got to play Detroit, Green Bay, and Detroit the last 3 weeks of the season. So it'll be week 17 they play Green Bay, right? And then Chicago's got to play Green Bay in week 18. So there's your point, right?
Right. That's my point. It's like this. We get to watch you guys scuffle over seeing who can be perfect. But what's probably going to happen is Green Bay is probably going to beat the Vikings, and it's just pop, 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 and we'll just go, thank you, like that division. But to your point, I mean, these guys were talking all that smack, and here, a bit.
I love that. Tommy DeVito.
It's funny. It's like I see smack talk out there like, oh, the Lions fans are talking all this smack. I don't think the Lions fans are talking smack. I think that most of the Lions fans are surprised they're winning. Like, we're in the playoff race. What do I do with my hands, Mike? Like, we're not used to being here. Like, even being talked about. So obviously all the same old Lions fans after every loss are just going to think it's the bottom dropping out. But here you go. You got 8-3 teams. You got playoff teams that were supposed to win out that are losing games. I mean, come on. You got beat by the Titans. You got the Miami Dolphins, the greatest offense ever. You got beat by the Titans. The Titans. Will Levis? Are you freaking kidding me? And we're supposed to, and every time the Lions lose, we're supposed to like crawl underneath of a rock. Every team gets beat. Every team gets got. Oh gosh, let's get into some of these PFFs right here. I don't know. You can't get to the comments very easy from the.
No, I can't today.
I didn't get all of the PFFs, but I got most of them in there. Let's go into the Vikings part right here, and this is the week. This is the week version. I actually might do it this way just so we can see it. But the top, I put the top ones, and that is anybody that is above the 70 grade. If you had an above and a 70 grade in PFF for Pro Football Focus, that's an outstanding game. You get into outstanding games at 70 and above. So I don't really do anything below 70 for that. Now for the duds, that is going to be anybody that is below the score of 50. Now 50 to 60 is still like, that you're in a questionable mode right there between 50 and 60, but anything below 50, you sucked. You sucked, according to PFF. So here's a look at the top Vikings offensive players. I don't have the defensive players, and I apologize for that. Johnny Munt and Justin Jefferson, Alexander Madison were your top players. It's no surprise. Some of their best players right there. And the duds being KJ Osborne, Brandon Powell, Jalen Naylor, Josh Oliver, and who's that other guy?
Austin Schlottman.
And
Josh Oliver ranked pretty low there for a high-priced backup tight end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he has been pretty good throughout the season, but in a 3-0 win, I don't think that you're going to see very many good offensive numbers
right.
when it comes with that. But I mean, that's all right. That's all right. You know, that's a dangerous team. How about that? An NFL team that gets a win 3-0. So let's look at this defense. And this is where you got to give the Vikings a lot of credit, because if you can win a 3-0 game, Ivan Pace Jr. coming through again, 54 snaps, 92.9. This guy is a beast. This guy is a beast, Mike.
He's an undrafted free agent gem.
Rookie. A rookie gem that we're going to have to deal with for the next probably 10 years. This guy probably made himself a lifer by being plucked off the undrafted free agent pool. You know, every year you find a couple of these guys, right? And that he is definitely one of those guys. Let's get into safety. Metellus, 89.6. Mecca Blackman, 83.4. Danielle Hunter, 80.4. Troy Dye, 74.4. Cameron Bynum, 70.4. And they have a whole slew of defenders in the 60s. So you could give honorable mentions to Roy Bullard, Harrison Phillips, Harrison Smith, Wanham, Pat Jones. All those guys were in the 60s. And the only guy that really had a bad game only had 7 snaps, and that was Theo Jackson with a 44.3 overall. And you can't really even count that. I usually don't even count guys if they have less than 10 snaps. Just because
every week we say the name Cameron Bynum. Kid's a stud too.
Yeah. Very, very impressive defensive performance for the Minnesota Vikings. And
what did you say Metellus' grade was?
Metellus was 89.6.
Wow. He must have went to a great university.
Oh, you like that. Oh, you like that. Oh, okay. So, I mean, in a 3-0 game, obviously we're going to be pointing out the stud guys that are on defense. So, good job. Kudos to Brian Flores and the Minnesota Vikings, because for one, even if they do finish in the bottom of the division, which they very well might, you never know how these things play out. But even if they did do that, I would still have to credit Brian Flores. I didn't think this defense was going to be, I mean, to think that it would be better, you know, after losing all of those players, kudos to Brian Flores. It seems like this defense is going to be a problem for the rest of the year for everybody, so including us. So there you go.
I want to echo that. I want to echo that too. Brian Flores is as advertised. Like you said, with all the players they lost on defense, they've not only exceeded our expectations, but they've exceeded everyone's expectations with that defense. And Brian Flores is as advertised, and I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it back to the head coaching ranks after this year, the job he's done in Minnesota.
So let's go in here and see if I can't find Sarah in here. No, we are playing the Bengals. That's right. They are playing the Bengals. Thank you for the correction, Sarah. On that, I know that you guys have a date with the Green Bay Packers coming up, and that's it. You know, I think that whoever comes out of that little scrum between these three teams, and I'm even putting the Bears in there now at 5-8, especially with the Packers losing, going to 6-7. It's like you got, you know, the Vikings at 7-6 right now, right? And then it's like 8 teams or whatever at 6-7 that are going to be scrumming for that last spot. And the Chicago Bears are right in that. They're right in that scrum. That 9-8 final spot is looking pretty solid, that may end up being a 9-8 team that hits that 7 spot. And if they keep beating the shit out of each other, it might even be an 8-9 team with all these teams right there. But thank you. Brent says the Bears are the hot team in the NFC North right now. And that's fair. And we're going to get to their scores here in a second. I wanted to see what we had for Viking comments. No, we play the Bengals, Lions, Packers, Lions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. You get 3 division games in a row, right in a row. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. As a player, I surely hope not. Players need to focus on the now, not the past. Only thing they need to change is the now. I must have jumped right in there. Green Bay is playing Tampa Bay next.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There you go, right there. A battle of 2 6-7 teams that are both fighting for that last spot in the NFC. That should be a very interesting game right there. I think they're similar teams with very good skill players, banged up running game.
Packers will get that one at home.
So, yeah, Lions take care of the Vikings, and they should be good. I don't see. I want to see the defensive players. Yeah, that's what we went through. I am sorry about that, Sarah. I did not get all. That was the only one I didn't get done was the Minnesota defense right there. But we did talk about those guys. Ivan Pace Jr. is an absolute stud. That's what PFF just told me, because it's over and over and over again. We come in here, Sarah, every single week, and we shout out these top players via PFF. And some people say it's pro fake football numbers or whatever. I don't care, because it does tell a story. It's not going to tell all of the story, but sometimes it can be supporting evidence to some of the things that you're seeing that might not be showing up in stats. I like that for that. And one thing that I know for sure is that Ivan Pace Jr. is a bona fide stud right there, and he's a demon in coverage. And that's what you need. You need linebackers that can do both right there. Brent says that Lions are a team in the wilderness, like the song by Styx, lost with no understanding of where they are at the same time or at the time. And you know what song that is?
No. I'm pretty familiar with Styx, but that one's kind of obscure. Must not have been a hit.
He's getting old school right there. I like that. I like Brent.
You like that?
Good comment right there.
He had at the time all in caps, so maybe that's the title of the song. But
Sarah with some good info right there, saying that they got Bynum from the
Diggs trade, from Buffalo.
That's cool. Top 10 defense. Thank you, Brian Flores, says Jason MC. Sebastian. Yep. Sebastian says that Sarah is right. We traded Diggs for Jefferson and Bynum. Wow, not bad for a throw-in right there, right? Very good. Very, very good. We talked about Pace and Bynum all preseason. Yeah, preseason he was popping right off the bat. Ivan Pace was a wow factor. If I remember, that was like right off the bat. He was like win the job. What a good opportunity for him, especially when you cleaned house like that. And that's a scary thing about the Flores defense is all those guys are young. I mean, they do have a couple older players on there, but they got rid of a lot of the older players, and you can build around Hunter.
We harped on them for getting rid of Eric Kendricks, but then they had Ivan Pace up their sleeve we didn't know about.
Yeah, well, I don't think that they knew that either. I think that they're surprised in where they're at with this retooling too. But there's still 4 games left, so I don't want to toot the horn. They got 7 wins right now. Main Event Mike is the only Lions fans who knew that we would be a top 10 D. Yeah, I was very, very, very hard on them. I had to come out. Actually, it was during their losing streak where I was like, because we come on here every week with the PFF numbers, and I'm like, I know that they're 0-4. I remember having this conversation with you. It's like, Mike, I know that they're 0-4, but this defense is pretty good. I told you, like. Skull. All right. Finally, we got I love that we have good Viking conversation in here now. Metellus is a special teams guy. He's playing in Flores' system. has really elevated him. Yeah, being in a good spot with, the smartness. You want to have good schemes. You want to play for a good coach. And you can tell when teams start losing faith in their coach. So he's got them. He's got them. Flores has been killing it. That's echoed by Brent. Thank you, Brent. Ivan Pace has a chip on his shoulder. Very good. Eat you a bite of crow, Russell? I ate my crow already. Here's the thing is you guys don't have to keep beating on me on this. I mean, I ate my crow on the defense. I ate my crow just fine. My problem is the other people that come around these parts right here. And I understand that you want me to eat my crow, but I haven't seen y'all here every single week. So you might have missed my crow eating. I don't feel like I owe any crow to Minnesota at this point because I think I pulled myself out of that. Week 3, week 4. I mean, I eat it. I see what I see. We make predictions as prognosticators, but we ain't right all the time. I think I had a horrible week. I think I came back a little bit last night and kind of maybe saved my very end of it. But
well, it is widely known that eating crow stimulates hair growth.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I shave my head all the time. Thank you. Jason said, "Thank you. Care for some dessert." See, it's like how many of these people came on here and says, "Hey, the Lions are doing a good job. I eat my crow. You guys are 9-4. Wow, you guys, it's none of that. It's no, you got lucky to win all 9 of your games." Blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, so we eat our crow. Apparently, nobody else has to eat their crow. All right, let's move on. Let's move on.
Do you know who else was 9-4?
Who?
The 2021 Los Angeles Rams, who won the Super Bowl.
That's awesome. I think that we have a shot just as much as anybody else. And I am not going to be up and down with this season. I mean, teams have good games, have bad games. We're in a lull right now. I'm not going to deny that we're in a lull right now, but it's not the end of the season. It isn't like we have this thing that's happened to us that we can't overcome. As a matter of fact, there's a whole bunch of young players that are on our team that I'm excited to continue to watch the progression. I'm excited to watch Laporta get better and Jahmyr Gibbs get better, Jack Campbell get better. And this isn't just a this year thing. I'm excited for this team for the next 5 years. And part of it is where we're at right here with this young team right here. And this is Football Talk with Russell Wayne and my compadre right here, Main Event Mike. And we're talking about this game from last night. We're talking about PFF. And whatever you want to talk about, you can throw into the comments, ask questions. We're going to move on to this Green Bay game because I wanted to save the best for last, rivalry game for the end. And I know that if there is a Green Bay fan out there, that they're just chomping at the bit. Why ain't they talking about the Packers? You know how they are. But okay, let's look at the offense. Top offensive players right here. And really not much. You got Patrick Taylor. Like I said, I am not going to waste ink space in cyberspace for guys that don't score above 70. And I like to keep it. There was no awful, dreadful, awful Green Bay Packer players from last night. Jordan Love, I just put him in there as like an honorable mention for the duds, but none of them scored below 50. So 58.6, that's a down game for Jordan Love. But Zach Tom with a 72.2, Tucker Kraft with a 76.4, and Patrick Taylor with a 77.6. Pretty good.
A guy they just picked up a couple of weeks ago off a practice squad, Patrick Taylor. That's great. Spelling the injured Aaron Jones, doing a good job. Nice score there for Patrick Taylor.
Yep, and Tucker Kraft, you got that's your third round tight end right there. It's nice to know that. I mean, you guys drafted 2 tight ends, the Green Bay Packers did, and it looks like both of them are pretty good, Mike. Like you got a nice little 1-2 there.
It does. Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft, a couple of young weapons for the young quarterback to grow with. A young quarterback's best friend is a tight end. I would like to see them have a veteran tight end in there to help the kid along, but they're doing what they got to do. They let go of Robert Tonyan, they let go of Mercedes Lewis, and they bring in two young guys. It's kind of a gamble. And I think the Packers have exceeded expectations, right? This is a team that came in with very low expectations. Even the most devout Packer fans, like our good friend A-Dub, they only predicted 7 wins. They're already exceeding those expectations, and that's a direct result of these young players that they drafted along with their young quarterback.
Pump the brakes a little bit right there. They're only at 6 wins right now, and that performance last night was not that good. If they play like that for the rest of the year, they'll lose out. They'll get beat by this good Bears team that seems to be ascending, and they'll get beat by this Vikings team that just shut out a team that beat the Packers. So, I don't know, man. I mean, so they can't all win out, and they can't all be ascending at the same time because they all have to play each other. So something's got to give right there, and they may not win another game this year. They may.
Well, Packers got Carolina on the schedule, so they'll probably win that one, I'm sure.
I don't put any trust past anything anymore.
Yeah, I agree, because you look at Miami last night, they were 11-point favorite in their own stadium, and they got beat by a rookie quarterback. So as the season winds down and people are nicked up and banged up, and you think, teams that weren't doing good at the beginning of the year are starting to gel, starting to get it figured out. I think you're right, Russ. You can't count anyone out at this point.
No. And to me, I look at the Minnesota Vikings because of this as obviously they're playing us twice, but that's dangerous. That's dangerous because that big goose egg right there, because they're not playing good offensively. I mean, right now the Vikings are bad offensively with all those skill players. They're not doing well. But the thing is if you got a defense that's that good, your offense don't have to be that good. You just need your offense to, put up 20, 21, 24 points, and you're going to be good.
Did you think we'd be saying that in week 14 about the Minnesota Vikings?
Not the Vikings, no.
That their offense is anemic and their defense is carrying them? It's incredible, really.
I mean, they went from being the worst defense in the league to, I mean, you could probably put them top 10 defense either. They're better defense than ours is, for sure.
Yep.
Our defense can get better. I'm one of the people that believe that Aaron Glenn is doing fine. Like the team is still ascending. The team is still trying to find itself defensively, but sometimes I think that we bring past into the present with where Aaron Glenn is, and you're not accounting for the progression part of it. Because I mean, these guys aren't playing that bad. The defense kept them in that game the best that they could, but like you're fumbling the ball, giving short fields. Like you can't keep putting your defense in those kind of positions and then turn around and blame the defense for breaking. It's like, if you're going to be a go for it dude, the Cowboy, that's fine. I'm good with it. I have no problem with it. Continue to do it for the rest of the season, but don't crucify the defense because the offense has decided to play that aggressive style. And when it doesn't work, man up. You're going to have to play defense with more of your back against the wall when you have a coach like that's going to coach the offense like that. So live with the Cowboy, you die with the Cowboy. So that's a offense right there. Not really much to say, but defensively, there was a lot of studs and duds. So there you got your 5 studs. Devontae Wyatt got injured in the game. I'm not sure if that's going to be long-term or anything like that, but he was your best defensive player yesterday at 89.7. TJ Slayton, very, very, very good right there, 86.9. Eric Wilson at 75.2. Colby Wooden at 73.3. Lucas Van Ness, rookie, stepping up 72.1. But your duds are the guys that have been kind of doing well for you. The ones that were playing well in the previous games did not play so well. Nixon did not have a good game. He had crucial fumbles.
He got abused by Wan'Dale Robinson. Big fourth quarter on the final drive, the biggest play of the drive. Wan'Dale just put a move on him and left him in the dust to get the first down and keep it going and put him in position to win the game with a field goal. Valentine, surprised to see him in here. I mean, I think he did have the fumble recovery return that set up the Packers with a chance to win the game. So,
yeah. So there they are right there. I mean, that's not good. Yeah, I mean, and this is something that, like, you can kind of point at these things. It's like I said, this is not the end all be all in these scores for the PFF, but it does kind of tell a story. You can see, okay, well, these certain guys struggled. You can see how they got that. Nixon didn't have a good score. Well, then you can look at on the other side and you can see the great score by Wan'Dale Robinson. As a matter of fact, let's look at that. I'm just gonna by the game here.
And last week, Keyshawn Nixon was their highest graded player. And now this week he shows up in the box score as a dud with PFF. So,
yep,
it does tell a story, right? That he had a bad game.
Yep, and for the offensive grades for the New York Giants, Wan'Dale Robinson, Tommy DeVito, and wide receiver Hodgins, those were the best players. Those were the best players on the team. Wan'Dale Robinson, 84.4.
Wow, yeah.
But it's like directly correlated with the badness of the other side. So those are the little things that you can figure out with PFF. But that's about all I'm going to talk about the Packers right here. Let's go into the comments, see if anybody wanted to say anything. No, yeah, there's no Packer fans in here. They don't want none of this. They don't want none of this. They want to go cry. They want to go into their little shanty. Oh, do you remember the trophies that we had in 1962?
I'll pass the cheese, eh?
Yeah. All right, let's go to this game. The Lions Bears game. The Bears deserve to go first, so let's have them go first. And this is a weird thing for me because they didn't have a ton of players that ranked in above the 70s, but Tevin Jenkins, Mercedes Lewis, and Justin Fields had a good game. So there you go. That Justin Fields carried your offense. That's what this tells me. That's actually what that tells me. Tevin, because you're not seeing offensive linemen up there. Mercedes Lewis, but I remember Mercedes Lewis only had 9 snaps. I usually don't put those guys up there, but they didn't have a lot of high scoring players. So we clowned him. We clowned him for picking up Mercedes Lewis at, was he 40 years old? But he laid some blocks this week that were massive, and playing at a high level. The PFF grade showing that. Yeah, and if I look at that, where let's go deeper into that. What were you saying? Who we looking at there? Mercedes Lewis, his blocking score, 75, 70, 74. That's really good. So, I mean, that tells a story. They did have blocking out the edge, but I thought that this was a good contested game, and I think this is going to reflect in the scores that we show. Darnell Mooney didn't have a great game, according to this, but even then, they didn't have any players that ranked below the 50 score, and I just threw him in as kind of more of an honorable mention. But I'm not even going to really shit on Darnell Mooney's day because he did make a couple big catches. So I don't know why that defense shut the Lions out in the second half. I'm sure they've got some really good defensive scores across that. Let's look at this defense. Look at this defense. And it wasn't really across. Now, I am going to defend the middle because there's only 3 players. Jalen Johnson at an 83.4. Jack Sanborn's been a freaking stud all year. He's been a stud. Put on a Bear uniform. 82.0. Montez Sweat at 71.5. right? Now on the dud side, they did not get good play from Rasheem Green, Gervin Dexter, or Yannick.
Even though Yannick Ngakoue and Gervin Dexter both got a sack in the game, Gervin Dexter his first sack of his career, yet their PFF grade's still below average.
Well, I think that you're gonna see it from the Lions side. But I did want to touch on something else with the defense for the Chicago Bears, which is I know that they didn't have a ton of guys right there in the 70s, but they had I would give honorable mentions to Jaquan Brisker, Andrew Billings, Kyler Gordon, Zach Pickens, and Terrell Smith, and Elijah Hicks that had the games between 60 and 70s, which is good. I mean, you're not going to complain about any of those plays. Tremaine Edmonds had an 80 grade in tackling. So Edmonds was a tackling machine, no doubt about it. The Bears come to play us.
And a big fumble recovery for Edmonds too.
And when we're looking at this, Ken Doby brought up something yesterday that, in his 24-hour rant that he had on his one take about Robbie Gould. But no, he was just he was just talking about how the players are progressing there, and it is a young team, and how it kind of relates to the team that we had last year. It's almost like they're exactly like 1 year behind where we were. They had a dumpster fire of a year last year, but you heard Ken all off season talking about, this guy could be good, that guy could be good, could be. Now these guys are starting to step out and actually be good. Their second year, they started out awful. We started out 1-6, and now some of these young players are starting to turn around and turn it out, and it's a good thing. Some of these guys, I think that they could end up winning a higher percentage of their games. I think that they will be at, they're at 5 wins now. There's 4 games left. I think they could win 3 or 4. I think they get to 8 and 9, and or they could even win out. But who knows with that? And I thought that with all 3 of the NFC North teams. So let's get into the top Detroit offensive players, and there really isn't much to talk about here. Penei Sewell had an okay game. Donovan Peoples-Jones, he didn't even have a ton of snaps. He didn't have over 10 snaps, and I still put him on there because we didn't have 2 players that took significant snaps that actually scored above 70. Sewell was our only good offensive player.
DPJ with a big catch for a first down. It was great to see that. Unbelievable on this dud list. Amon-Ra on a dud list, first time ever.
Yeah, and Jared Goff being on there, that alludes to the point that he had an awful game. Now, when you're looking back, when I say this is kind of like a direct correlation here on the defense right there, you're looking at, or on the offense, you can look at the direct correlation from Jared Goff playing bad, but yet you still had, Gervin Dexter get a sack and everything. This had more to do with Jared Goff being bad, is what that score tells me, than it had to do with Gervin Dexter being good.
Yeah.
Because of this score right here of 44.8 of Goff did not have a good game. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 3 drops. This is uncharacteristic, and this should be a point of you should feel good about this, and not because you lost, but feel good about this because I know what type of person Amon-Ra St. Brown is. Like, you think that he's just going to go back and he's going to go, oh my God, we're going to lose all of our game because we're the same old Lions. No, he's going to go to work. He's going to look for a bounce back for sure in this next game. And I think he's going to play well. I think Aiden Hutchinson is going to play well, but he did not play well. He actually didn't make the bottom list of this, but Jalen Reeves-Maben, stands out as a nice bright spot. He plays on special teams. He's been playing out of his mind, Michael, at 82.9, and Aiden Hutchinson at 73.7. And I know that he's not happy with that. I know that he left that penalty out there and he took it really, really hard. And yeah, and maybe he should take it hard. That's what Dan Campbell said.
That's got to be a typo on Anzalone, right? Well, I've never seen a player score in the 20s.
Anzalone didn't have a good game.
I've never seen a player in the 20s, Russ. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. That is what his score is.
Wow. And you look at that Jalen Reeves-Maven. Right, Jalen Reeves-Maven playing in Anzalone's absence last week played great. They put him on the field again. He earned more time out there, had a sack, had a big deflection pass, and like you said, an absolute stud, maybe a Pro Bowler on special teams.
Levi Owens-Enrique, Jerry Jacobs, these guys, this is who we wanted to step up.
Yep. Consistently on the dud list, Jerry Jacobs.
Yeah. And the thing is like I can give like somebody like Levi Owens-Enrique more of a pass for that low score because he only played 14 snaps. But Jerry Jacobs being on this list week after week when he's playing, 53 snaps, you got to be better. He's got to be better. Now, I understand that his talent level, he should be the first cornerback coming in off the bench. But unfortunately, because of the injuries to our secondary, he was forced into this role, and it is what it is, right? I'm sure the defense will be better. So I think that's something that we look at next year, draft, all that stuff. We could get CJ back.
Yeah, that'll be big. Get James Houston and CJ back. Dan Campbell said in his presser yesterday that no, it's probably looking like late December. Don't rule them out, but they're not coming back this week or next week. So, but when they do, hopefully they'll be coming in at the right time. Energize this defense. Maybe we can be a hot team going into the playoffs because that's what you want in any sport. You want to be the team that's riding a wave as the playoffs begin. You don't want to be on one of your valleys. Rather, you want to be on a peak.
Yep.
So hopefully those two guys can get this defense back into shape and start to be a threat. And teams worrying about the Lions defense like they did in the first 7 weeks of the season. I got to jump off real quick. We had a great show last night, didn't we, Russ?
Yeah, it was awesome. I love being the fly on the wall. And when we have a lot of engagement like we did yesterday with a lot of people coming in, and you don't have to just come in on your off times, guys. I understand. We're going to give you a hard time if you come in. If you ghost us for a while, we love it when you participate in the show, but just know that when you participate in the show, you become part of our storyline. Mm-hmm. And if all of a sudden you don't show up, like in a few weeks, I'm just going to assume that you're crying.
I've decided, Russ, I'm not going to buy this Tommy DeVito jersey at the mall. I'm actually going to use our link for NFL Shop to buy that jersey. You know why? Because I can get 25% off when I use the main event, the Villain Squad link for NFL Shop. It's right there in the description, folks. Click on that. You got some NFL fans on your Christmas list. Click that link, get 25% off. You can also use our WWE link. We're an affiliate marketing partner of the WWE shop, and you can get that kick-ass Detroit Lions championship belt. Actually, any team, you can get those belts on there. We just would love to see someone buy one of those belts. Come on the show, put it in the background. You're watching Football Talk with Russell Wayne every weekday morning at 11 a.m. And don't forget, NFC North Open Mic Monday nights at 7 p.m. I got to get out of here, Russ. God bless you all.
Right on. That was awesome. I wish I was good like that. Like that was slick. That was slick. And it is true with the link. It's like, I hate selling stuff, but it actually is. They a part of us being the affiliate sponsors or marketing partners with them is they give us the special link that I can throw out to you that gets you 25% off. That's pretty cool marketing on their part, but all I got to do is throw the link in my description and then talk about it. And that's it. And I hope that you use that. But more importantly, the best way that you can help in the free way that you can help is just to follow our page. Follow the page. Hit the like button on the video that you're watching right now. Like if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button on that. If you're watching on the Detroit Lions news, if you're watching there, hit that like button. Help out the Detroit Lions news. Give them a like. Follow their page. If you're a Bear fan, go follow Mike the Bear fan. He putting up content 365. They just hit 10,000 followers. So we just like to have fun. We like to have fun talking about football. And this is PFF Tuesday. So we also have traditions. Tradition. Yeah, that's Fiddler on the Roof. Yeah, singer guy right there. Yeah, we have traditions. Every Tuesday, we go over the numbers. The nerdy numbers. All of the nerdy numbers. PFF Tuesday. I like it. I like being able to go through it. I hope that you like the little graphics that I make, the lead into the show. I hope that it makes it a little bit better, that you have something to look at while we're talking about all these stats. And, oh my gosh, we're going to win out. Tommy DeVito.
Acknowledge me.
Oh, man, those Packers, they talked all that. They totally ghosted today. I want to see. If you're still listening right now, I want you to type the Packers totally ghosted. Packers ghosted. I want you to type that into the comments. I want to see how many people we can get to say the Packers ghosted or something cooler than that. Something about the Packers ghosting today and not accepting the fact that you lost. They ghosted. Yes, they ghosted. Type that in there because they did. They talked all that shit. Hey, I'm here. We went to Soldier Field and the Chicago Bears went. Get out of here. Get out of here. You weren't ready for us today. And they did it. You got to give them credit for it. And we just broke down those numbers. That's PFF Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, we're going to break down the numbers. And, sometimes the numbers tell a story, right? You got the obvious stats. Oh, this is how many yards he had. Oh, this is how many touchdown passes he threw. That's fine. I like those numbers. Those tell a story, but these numbers tell a different story. I like that they grade offensive and defensive linemen. Because you can't really tell that by sacks. Sacks don't tell the whole story. I mean, if you're getting sacks, that means your defense is probably playing pretty good. But I like that. But, God, I'm doing that again. Babbling. Stop babbling, Russ. So, I said Tuesdays, PFF Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this Lions team. And we invite the other fan bases. That's fine. But we're going to be homers tomorrow. Every Wednesday, since we are Lions fans, we dedicate the entire Wednesday. It's Lions Wednesday. That'll be tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be talking about this game. And Bear fans, obviously, you guys would be invited to that because we're going to be talking about the beatdown that you put on us. But we'll be homeristic about it. We're going to come from a place of we lost that game more than you won that game. That's what I'm going to try to sell myself. And then I'm going to try to sell it to you. But I think the numbers actually told that story. Is that we had some players that played really bad. But I want to thank everybody for being part of this. And I'm going to do one of my stops right here. But this is faith, family, and football. In that order. Faith, family, football. Faith. Faith is being of service to somebody. having faith that things are going to be better, but we have to do what we can do to help make it better, because sometimes it's better for you, but it ain't better for everybody else. Right? And I ain't going to be preaching at you. That's Pastor Kevin's job. And if you want to be, if you want good preaching, if you want a good word, then Pastor Galloway, every morning, I actually play guitar at this place. This is every single Sunday. Good word, good worship music. And this is a great church of people. And this is what we do, is we want to be a service to the community while helping each other be stronger. And Pastor Kevin and the NTC Church gave away 400 turkeys for Thanksgiving. And I just think that that's awesome. That's an action. So if you don't have anything to give to, there is a link in the comments. And we're trying to buy a bunch of presents for kids whose parents can't afford presents. So if you want to help out with that, there's an NTC Give in there. So that's faith. That's faith. Help give people faith that don't have any reason to be faithful. All of a sudden, this comes out of nowhere. A blessing comes out of nowhere. It could change their life. Faith, family, and football. Family and football kind of go together to me. That's kind of the mission statement of what we're doing here. Football Talk with Russell Wayne. Family and football. Sunday, you watch a football game. You know, you got your cousin, your brother. If you're a mom, you got your daughter, your son, the father, your daughter or your son. You spend time with them. You watch the game, high-fiving, maybe a couple adult cocktails with your buddies. But it's about that togetherness, I love Bear fans. Bear Down Mike, you're one of my favorite people in the world. I hate your stupid team, but you're a person and I'm a person. And that's important that it's distinguished. Faith, family, and football in that order. Use football for your family. Don't let football use you. So when you lose, don't be a dick. Be nice. It's okay. Spend some time with your family. Shake it off. There's a game next week. There's going to be a game next week. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for listening, commenting, sharing this content, making us one of your listens every single day. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again tomorrow morning for Football Talk with Russell Wayne.
It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.
What's up, y'all? This is Ifeatu Melifonwu, safety for the Detroit Lions. And I just want to take some time out to give a big shout out to Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike from the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. It's a fan page and a podcast. And I just want to say I appreciate the support of me and my team. And I encourage everyone to go check out their podcast and check out their fan page. Go Lions.
Yeah. Oh, man. Taking that time. I want to take that time right there. Thank everybody for watching. Last call. That's what I call this, last call. This part. And the only reason that I do this part is because we're on StreamYard right now. So StreamYard gives us the access to where we can stream into Mike the Bear Fan, NFC North Main Event, Detroit Lions News, the Villain Squad, and our YouTube channel at the same time. So the minute that I stop the stream, then I don't have access to post into all of those same places at the same time. So after the credits are done, is what I like to do is share the YouTube link into all of these spots right here, because we're trying to build our YouTube channel as well, and we love delivering content like this. So what I ask is that you go over to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. That's like the free stuff, and it means so much to us. It puts a smile on our face. I love that. I absolutely love that. Knowing that people, because the only reason that you would ever hit the subscribe button on our channel is because you're a football fan. I mean, like a hardcore football fan. Like there's casual football fans, they look at the score. Oh yeah, look at the Lions. I like the Lions. Go Lions, or go Bears, or whatever. But the people that come in for the stats, and for the talk and for the smack talk, and that's what we want. That's what we provide. Something that you can count on every day. To not know what you can count on, because, we don't care. We're having fun. We're going to have fun with it. We're going to grow this thing. We're going to continue to grow this thing. Because I think that if you send the right message with football, that it can be just like this powerful, beautiful thing. Like you can use these awesome experiences. Because if you've ever been to one of these games at Ford Field, or in Minneapolis, Lambeau Field, like any of these stadiums, the energy in these stadiums is unbelievable. And I want to go to all the away stadiums before I die, because it's cool feeling the energy of your own team. But it's awesome to be a fan. Like I'm a fan of the Lions. When we go to, we went to Minneapolis last year and watched the Lions lose, but it was still such an awesome experience, because you get to see how Minnesota Viking fans, how they fan. What's their thing that they do? That's Skull Chant. I'm not a Viking fan, but vicariously, that's awesome. The Skull Chant. That's like, if you're there live for that, it's awesome. It's awesome. Great atmosphere. It's great atmosphere at Ford Field. We're so starving for a winner. If you're an away team, if you can get a ticket, what an experience that is. A team that's never won, that starts winning. I tell you what, if they do provide a winner in Detroit, if they provide a winner in Detroit, then you will see the most electrifying fan base come alive. The most electrifying fan bases. I mean, you think that, like, when the Pistons were here, in 2004, like when they were winning titles, electrifying the Red Wings, and Lions, the winner, the one that's winning championships. This was a football town, folks. This team has been, this town has been dying. The Detroit Lions, Detroit, the city of Detroit. You put a football winner in this town. Oh, wow. This is an awesome, that Detroit Rock City, baby. Detroit Rock City. Rock and roll. what an awesome area it will be in. You put if you make the Detroit Lion winner. I mean, you could sell all the other teams if you put a football winner here. Detroit wants to be football fans. They've wanted to be football fans forever, but they've just never had a group of people that could all see this at the same time. You always had some of this and not that, and some of that and not this. One thing that I've never really seen in Detroit, I mean, I'm 48 years old, but one thing I haven't seen is like ownership, coaching, and the general manager all being on the same page. I've never seen that. And that's what we're seeing right now. You can believe in the product or not believe in the product. But that's one thing that I can see with my own eyes. I like that.
What?
Sorry I went off on there. But that's why I like that. I call this is like the last call. I did my thing. I threw that link in there. I threw the link in there. No John today. Corey, we're having this conversation. It might just be me and you right here. But DeVito, yep. That vaunted Green Bay defense. Gosh, Corey, I hope that you're watching right now, because if you just popped on, you're going to love this piece of work right here. Look at that. Yeah. I hope if you're a wrestling fan, that'll hit home. The Lions are sitting good at 9-4. That's what I was trying to get to everybody. I'm not on the panic. I wasn't on the panic. I'm still not on the panic because good teams lose. Teams go up and down all season long. The thing is like, if you can train yourself to get yourself ready, you don't need to be playing good right now. You need to be playing good in 4 weeks. But sometimes you don't know when that light's going to turn on. The Lions will get on us, just like a game. Like when you're watching a game, you can feel when your team has the momentum. You know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't matter what team you're a fan of. You're watching a football game. You can feel your own momentum, and you can feel when it's starting to go away. And this whole tug of war thing happens during the game. Well, on a bigger scale, that's like a micro way to look at it. But on a bigger scale, it's the season. The season does the same thing. Good teams find ways to put like winning streaks together. And the thing is like even teams with winning streaks, they get got. Even the San Francisco 49ers, they lost 3 in a row. The thing is like whoever starts playing well, and this is across the entire NFL, whoever starts playing well over the next couple of weeks is going to be the dangerous teams in the playoffs. That's just that is what it is. That's what it is. These teams that were peaking 2 weeks ago, look what happened. Look what just happened with the Packers. Look what happened with the Packers. They put together 3 really, really good performances, and now they fall off. And it's not like, and there is some truth to this, Henry. The Packers are who we thought they were. It is.
But they are who we thought they were.
There's truth to that, but this is the ebb and flow of the season says that this is going to happen. Like when you start kicking ass at something, like the Lions went on a good winning streak right there. When you start kicking ass at something, you put tape on. You put tape out there, right? And then when you put tape out there, the defenses are going to scheme that. So now, before the end of the season, the Packers are going to have to, they're going to have to deal with the fact that there's some tape on how to stop them. The other defenses, the next defenses are going to start attacking them in that way. So they may lose some games in a row, or they may get it back together. They may figure out the counter to it. The Lions are in that spot right now, really ever since the Baltimore game. It's like the Baltimore game kind of put a blueprint out there, and now the teams have been using it, that blueprint against the Lions over the last few weeks. And there's signs of it coming out. Like, it isn't as bad as it was on some of those weeks, even on some of the wins. So it's like, it's the job of the coaching staff to work themselves out of that. They'll be able to see tape too. Oh, okay, this is what they're doing to counter that. So a lot of these big plays that you used to get beat on, you'll see them defend it differently. And you've been seeing it all year long with all of the teams. But the fact of the matter is, the Lions are 9-4 right now. That's a good spot to be in while you're figuring this out, because you got a few weeks. You got a few weeks to try to figure this out before you're getting into the playoffs. So I'm not freaking out about the Lions after a loss. I will put my hand over the panic button as a Lions fan if they lose this game. Not until. I'm not even going to panic if they lose to Denver. But I would panic. I would put my hand over the panic button, because if you want to open up the door for the Minnesota Vikings to come in and have their own destiny be in their own hands, you don't want to do that. Not with a defense that's that good. I don't care how their offense is playing right now. The offense could just start playing good. I mean, Nick Mullins doesn't have to play all that well with all the playmakers in there, and the fact that they can hold teams, that the defense is playing good. You just need your offense to find a way to put up, 21, 24 points. And I think the Minnesota could be dangerous to any team that they play. But the offense could be the downfall to it. And I don't expect those trends to last all season. Somebody will figure it out. Somebody will crack that code, and then you'll have to make an adjustment, Minnesota, on defense. Every team gets got. And you never know who it's going to be. Everybody thinks they know. Well, you're not going to be able to beat Dallas. Oh, no, Dallas. Oh, no, it's Philadelphia. And then you watch these teams week after week. One of those high-profile teams that you think that nobody can beat gets beat. Isn't that the thing? I mean, there isn't a person that's listening to my voice right now that wasn't clowning Denver. We were clowning Denver. Everybody was clowning Denver when they were 0-5 or whatever they were. Miami put 70 on them. And look at them now. Look at Miami. Look at Denver now. Is one of the most dangerous defensive teams as it pertains to turnovers. They can force turnovers. Jared Goff has not been protecting the ball very well. This is a scary game as a matchup, Sean Payton versus his student. Oh, that has highlight written all over it. Come on now. Woo. So the Vikings got to go in and they got to face the Jake Browning. You know who the Cincinnati Bengals are? Minnesota Viking fan? Do you know who the Cincinnati Bengals are? They're you. They're you. Oh, it just hit me. It's the truth. Minnesota Viking fan. Sebastian. The Cincinnati Bengals are you. The starting quarterback went out. They got a good defense. You guys are coming in with Mullins. They're coming in with Jake Browning. They're you. It's gonna be an interesting game. I'm gonna take a high interest into that game. The Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. They're like the same team. Three nothing. How about that, Minnesota Viking? 3-0. I know some people might try to clown you for that, for 3-0. But they don't know what they're talking about. If you can get a win in the NFL by scoring 3 points, like you put that you played good enough to lose, but you won. Those are the best. Those are the best. That's actually how you stack them. I mean, you're going to love that win at the end of the year when you're stacking the wins, trying to figure out who's going to make it in. I mean, think about that, Minnesota Viking fan. Think about that. You won a game to go to 7-6. And all of the other teams that are chasing you are 6-7. Like, it was that close. Like, you got to jump in and jump on that. Now you're a full game lead ahead of all these other people because you won a game 3-0. Your offense was so bad that you only scored 3 points, but you won. You have a defense that's capable of a shutout. That's something. That is something. Should the Bears be beating their chest? Is it overreaction? I think it's overreaction. I look at this picture for 2 reasons. Bears should feel good, but they shouldn't be beating their chest like putting a title belt. So that would be an overreaction to people that think they're like the greatest team in the NFL right now. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't set yourself up for disappointment like that, Bear fan. You're getting better. And by the end of the season, you guys could be a very dangerous team. There's so many parallels to last year's Lions team, as Ken Doby alluded to yesterday. But stack some more wins. The games that you got coming up, Chicago Bear fan, you can win those games. You have winnable games. I mean, you knock out a couple. So you got Cleveland this week. So that's a team that you can beat. Cleveland plays really, really, really good defense. But, I mean, Joe Flacco's their quarterback. I mean, Joe Flacco, the corpse of Joe Flacco, he rose from the dead.
It's my quarterback.
And that's good defense. That is a good Browns defense. That's hard. But if you have 2 defenses that are in this defensive game like they just had, like the Vikings game, I would put my money on Justin Fields to, make the play in a game that only had 1 play to be made. So I like that. I like the Bears in that one. They have a chance to win that game. I'll have to see what the point spread is, tell you what I'm going to bet on it, but whatever. But then after that, they got the Cardinals, Falcons. And the Falcons at that point, if you beat if you beat the Browns and the Cardinals, which I think you can, you'd be going to 7-8. And then you would have a chance to be right there. The Falcons are fighting for that same spot that you are. That becomes a big game. But you can beat the Falcons. And then you go to Lambeau or wherever. I don't know where that game is. And then you play the Packers. So if I'm a Bear fan, like, get the belt, and shine it up and go game by game here. But there's no reason that the Bears with that defense playing good can't be in any one of those games. So I like that. Lions fan that is going all against Aaron Glenn right now, you have every right to do that. The defense hasn't been perfect at all, but it has been better. I've been trying to point this out. I've been trying to curb everything, but you're looking from last year to this year. I mean, maybe I'm just saying myths versus facts. I'll give you some facts. On last year's team, they were the 32nd ranked defense when they started 1-5. And it was awful. It was historically bad. It was so bad. And from the year before, he had a whole bunch of, cab drivers and people that they brought in off the street from the first year that he had the defense. And it was bad in the first year. It was bad for 8 games of last year. And then it got better. And it's getting better. It's not perfect. There's still holes in there. With the injuries on the defense, it's like losing Chauncey Gardner. Like, Jerry Jacobs has proven that he's not a reliable number 2. He needs to be coming in off the bench. He's not awful. He's had good games, but you can't put him out there for 50 snaps a game. He's good for 20 snaps. And I think that's what you're finding out with Anzalone too. So he's improving the defense. It's not 32nd defense right now. It's not the worst in the league. It's definitely not a top 10 defense, but they're landing somewhere in the middle. The Lions' problems lie on the offensive side of the ball, in my opinion. When you're going for it for 4th down and you're going 1 for 5, 2 out of 3 weeks, you have to, you're putting your defense in a bad spot. So that's what I'll say about the Lions. And the Packers, my gosh, that was a game you should have won. That was a game that you had to win. You put yourself behind the 8 ball, and that was a bad enough performance that there's tape on that performance, just like you had said about the Lions, and you were correct. There's tape on the Lions offense, and they haven't gotten past that yet. On defense, they got tape from that Baltimore game. They haven't figured that part out yet. They got 4 more games to figure it out. They got 4 more games to figure that out. And if they do, they can be a dangerous team. The offense is good. They get that offense clicking with Jameson Williams. It's good. But Packers, you got tape now. You lost and you got tape. That was not a good loss. They seem to expose you in a couple spots. Throw you out of the game. They took you out of the quick game too. Because once we got a pass rush on you, you got the quick game out. They covered your quick game too. And that's the Giants. Giants have been playing better though. Ain't gonna beat you up too bad on that one. But if you're not careful, that the next team that you're playing is going to know that. They're going to attack you, and they're going to attack that spot. Green Bay hasn't been that good against the run lately, and teams have been gouging them with the run. You put together 2 good wins right there. I put the Chargers in there too. Yeah, Chargers. You had 3 in a row. And that's what happens. Teams go up and down. But the Buccaneers ain't no easy gimme win. They're fighting for a playoff spot too. They have the same record as you. Now you're probably going to beat the Panthers. If you lose to the Panthers, oh my gosh. You think you didn't show up for this one? Holy crap. Packers. But man, I went over today. I had fun today. Today was a fun show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Please. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, just hit the like button. That'd be awesome if you would do that. It's free. It's free to hit the like button. This is NFC North Talk with Russell Wayne. This is the last call. Last call.
Here's the thing, though. What I've been doing is 3:30 every morning. I get up and I do my sprints. Yeah, I mean, those are prime sprinting hours. People don't realize. And that's how I know I'm succeeding, is if I'm doing my sprints while everyone else is asleep. It's a winning mindset is what it is. That's exactly what it is.
See, yeah, they get back into it. Thank you for watching today. Tomorrow, just remember, tomorrow we talk all Lions. It's all Lions on Wednesdays, and we're gonna go over this game. We're gonna go over the fine-tooth comb, maybe try to figure out our, meaningless ways that we think we can fix everything here for the Lions. But for everybody that's watching, thank you very much for liking and sharing this video, and we'll see you tomorrow.
It reminds me of a football show, football talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.
What's going on, Russell Wayne and the Main Event 365 Network? This is Jason Kabinda from the Detroit Lions. Here to give y'all a shout out, man. We appreciate all the support, man. Know you guys are big fans. Know that you guys are rooting for us to take the North this year, and we're going to do just that, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Just want to give y'all a shout out. You have a great day.